All right, rogue trader and rogue tradering it up. Boop. And boop. At least now I now have to worry about rushing myself in the character creation, because that's what I actually initially did, because I wanted to be ready for it. Anyways, love this music, by the way. We're gonna play daring. Essentially, daring is a balanced mode, so that I am aware of. I know for a fact that I want to play a... How dare I? What do you mean, how dare I? By the way, what did I do wrong? Yeah, that looks to be the closest. Yeah, we'll go with that. And playing on daring. Oh. Now I see where you're going with that. Anyways, I would probably play on hard mode. But again, I'm not a big streamer, and that's going to take me forever. It's already going to take me a long time just to get through the game. So, I don't want to bore you guys, because I don't stream very long anyways every day. So, I'm going to do it a little bit simpler and play it on more of a balanced. Anyways, I will take that. I will take... Fair enough? Yeah, thank you. Oh, go little Kratos out there. Yeah, we'll do that. Augmentations. I don't need to worry about that. Oh, God. Beards. So many beards. Fitbit, you be whacking. I have not used it. Unless my stress is what helped me burn calories.
Fit for the fond Phalancius.
Look upon the Emperor's faithful and...
The best defense is a good offense. Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
I do like that. All right, now we can actually go through this stuff instead of being all, we need to rush. I know what, I kind of know what I want to do, but let's just not worry about it. Okay. All right. So I'm probably going to end up more or less picking Hive World because of the Fellowship, because I want to play Fellowship, a more persuasive build. But let me look through these real quick. Okay, on Death Worlds, the planets, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself take aggressive and destructive forms. Inimical to human life. While exceptionally difficult to colonize, many death worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest of most people. Oh, fellowship -5. Oh, we're probably not going to end up taking this then. Interesting. Bird in the belly of a void vessel or aboard an ancient orbital satellite. Those who have lived their lives on void ships. Huh. So basically, people born in space. Hive World, okay. There's Forge World. Imperial. Oh, following features. Hold on. Imperial World characters can select any characteristics except for weapon skill or ballistic and add a +10 bonus. Really? But we can only do it to one. Interesting. An Imperial World is one of... So basically, this is the one with... okay. Ready to serve. Anyone with an Imperial World character is affected by any ally's non-damaging ability or affects an ally... or affects an ally with such ability, their resolve is increased by... fellowship bonus divided by 2 for 1 round. Interesting. This must be like a deficit. All allies, excluding Xenos, in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. Ah. No heresy. Interesting. Fortress Worlds, a planet where the entire population is immersed in warfare. It gains a certain amount of resolve. There are 3 or more creatures, allies or enemies, in the 3-cell radius. Which is more than likely going to happen because we're going to be surrounded by allies. The following features will be available after Origin advancement. Okay, camaraderie. Hive World characters can pass willpower resistance tests using their fellowship value instead if the character's fellowship is higher, which it will be. If a Hive World character has melee superiority against the enemy, the effect is increased by +10. If an enemy has melee superiority against a Hive World character, the effect is decreased by 10. Melee superiority. What is that? In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than the enemies receive a +10 weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. Oh, okay. Weapon personalization. All ranged weapons dealing physical damage have +1 damage, +5% armor pen, and +1 rate of fire, and a -5 to recoil. Ooh, I like that. Helping hand. If a Hive World character starts their turn adjacent to an ally, that Hive World character gains +2 movement points. Right, that is what that is, right? Movement points? Yes. If a Hive World character ends their turn adjacent to allies, they all gain +2. Wow! And then fresh start. Hive World characters gain +50% bonus to dodge against the first attack of opportunity every round. Wow. I'm actually really liking that. Let's go. Now, okay, so commander and all their allies deal an additional certain percentage. That's perception, I take it. Yes. At all costs. Anyways, that Astra Militarum, commonly known as the Imperial Guard, is the primary fighting force of the Imperium and the first line of defense from the myriad threats that endanger the existence of humanity in the 41st millennium. You have served as one of the commanders of an Astra Militarum regiment, commanding thousands and winning battles in the name of the God Emperor. Cooldown once. Okay, so this is once per combat. Kill. Commissar's next single shot or single target melee attack applies the following effects. Enemy target, the target becomes marked. The ally who kills the marked enemy gains an additional turn after the current one with a +2 AP and a +4 MP. Oh wow. Allied target. All allies get an additional +1 AP and 3 MP the next round. Can only be used once per combat. Gains a +5 to fellowship, which is nice. Coercion. By fellowship, it represents the character's talent to manipulate other people through intimidation and reach their desired goals via threats and pressure during dialogue. Talents. Duty and honor. While the commissar's ally is under the effects of at all costs, that ally suffers +50% damage but gains +2 AP and a +4 MP instead of +1 AP and +3 MP. Motivation. Huh. By the way, chat, I am not, by the way, y'all, I am not afraid. I am perfectly fine if y'all just start spamming me ideas. I don't care. It's fine. If I read it, I read it. If I miss it, I miss it. I do apologize. But I am very clueless in the Warhammer universe. All I know is Space Marines. That's it. I've tried to listen up on a bunch of stuff for this game. It's a lot. So it's going to take me a long time to understand. Neck's starting to crink. Might have to stand up a little bit. Additional movement points to any ally character. They give +2 movement points more. Oh, for the Emperor. When momentum is less than 100 points, killing the marked enemy or targeting an ally grants plus a certain amount momentum. Show them contempt. While the commissar is adjacent to an enemy, all their allies gain. While adjacent to an enemy, all their allies. Is that talking about the enemy's allies or the commissar's allies? I want to say the commissars, but it kind of all sounds like the enemy's allies. Anyways, kills the target at all costs. They can use at all costs once more this combat for 0 AP. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we definitely don't want. I'm not gonna do Crime Lord. I will go ahead and apologize for those of you watching, completely expecting a deep, thorough dive and understanding dive That's not me. That is by far not me in this game. I am pretty much very clueless. Monostorm Priest. This ability grants an additional willpower bonus. Okay, willpower bonus momentum for each power bonus momentum for each enemy that is for each enemy that is either in a 5-cell radius around the priest or was hit by the priest this turn. Interesting. Minus 10 penalty to any willpower or fellowship tests. Huh. That's very targetive. Navy officer. Brace for impact. For 1 round, the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gain +2 deflection for each archetype taken by the Navy officer. Archetype defines a character's role in the game. As the character levels up, the rank of the chosen archetype will increase. Opening up access to new abilities and talents. And their allies. Okay, for each archetype taken, do not falter. All allies affected by Brace for Impact do not suffer the negative effects of melee superiority for the entire combat. In melee combat, any target surrounded by more allies than enemies will receive +N weapon skill bonus for each additional ally. Larger enemies need more than 2. Timing, allies affected by Brace for Impact gain +30% to cover penetration. The Navy officer also permanently gains +15% to cover penetration. Interesting. Get in the cover. All allies affected by Brace for Impact get an extra turn with 0 AP and 3 MP and increase their cover efficiency by +20% for 1 round. Okay, he's really sounding like a buff character. All allies affected by Brace for Impact suffer only half damage from all attacks of opportunity. Oh, that's just attack of opportunity. So there's Get Off Me. Also allows the Navy officer to use any ranged weapon in threatened areas, knocks enemies prone, and pushes them 1 cell away. Okay, that's kind of cool. This is actually not bad. The noble assigns 1 ally who will become their servant until the end of combat. Anytime the noble's abilities affect the servant gains +5 to all characteristics until the start of the noble's next turn. Anytime the servant attacks a target that the noble dealt damage to last turn, the servant gains +10 plus nobles. Jesus, what? Good God. If a noble uses an ability on their ability on their servant, the servant gains +1 AP next turn, does not stack with itself. Okay, go on. The noble servant gains +2 movement points every turn. Oh my God, it's so literally at the beginning of the game, beginning of combat, you, yes, you, go them up. It will be done, my lord. Anyways, if the servant has less than 30% maximum wounds, the maximum amount of characters' wounds depends on their toughness. For each bonus point of toughness, characters gain +10% wounds. Oh. The noble can use "You Serve Me" once more in battle, designating a new servant and removing the effect from the previous one. Oh, interesting. You, protect me. The noble and the servant are adjacent to each other. At the start of the noble's turn, they both gain temporary wounds equal to servant's toughness bonus or noble's fellowship bonus, depending on which is higher. And by certain effects and abilities, when a character suffers damage in combat, temporary wounds are deducted first. Generally stay until the end of combat or until the character loses them, but suffering damage. Interesting. If the servant kills a target that the noble dealt damage to the last turn, the noble gains +1 AP next turn. Jesus. So this guy actually feels like we gotta find somebody who's straight up gonna be like, I'm going, who we can just look at and go, you fluff them up. I will most certainly fluff them up, my lord. You first. Ah, crunk. Okay, fluff them up. You're next. Ah, flump. I'm ready for this. Oh God. And then there's Sanctioned Psyker, which I'm not gonna get into this. This guy, okay, Sanctioned Psyker, apparently is supposed to be like really badass. I'm sorry, as much as I would like to play this character, he is going to be so damn confusing. So I'm not gonna go that far. Boom. All right, Triumph, Apex of Brilliance. Your strong presence and persuasiveness stopped a feudal war between neighboring systems. All right, Illustrious Glory. You were named planetary governor and survived, having made useful connections on both sides of the law. Coercion. A feat of greatness. You had a rival noble house's reputation destroyed and its members exiled from the sector. I think I like this better. About the nature of warp entities and their twisted physical manifestations may give access to new dialogue options. To resist negative effects applied by some poisons, stimulators, and alcohol may give access to new dialogue. I am a bastard, an illegitimate member of a family that immediately turned its back on me. Understanding of the Imperium's tenets, history, and structure. The mysterious tome that was discovered in your family library exacted a terrible toll on my mind. Okay, you were kidnapped for ransom and your captors mistreated you up until the moment you were released. Hold on, I'm on a warpath here of liking every single tweet. Yeah, okay. Okay. This one seems more likely. Let's go with that. Boop. Archetypes. Okay, warrior. What do we got? Keystone figures, charge. Hello? Okay, there we go. I was just like, what the hell? Officer, break it down. The officer immediately grants an ally an extra turn with an action point equal to 2 and no movement points. If the ally is under the effect of voice of command and kills an enemy before the end of the officer's turn, the ally gains a one-time additional plus. Not sure if that's supposed to be like that. Might be a typo. 2 times officer's fellowship. Momentum. Wow, what is momentum? Your party members can use unique abilities called heroic acts and desperate. Oh, okay. That I kind of remember. Voice of command is forces an ally to fully push themselves. Excuse me, increasing their characteristics by a certain amount for 1 round. Additionally, all of the officer's abilities can be applied to the target of voice command from any distance. A character who becomes the target of voice command cannot be targeted by this ability again for the next 2 rounds. All right, then we have ultimate abilities. The officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. During the extra turn, there is no attack limit. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. If it means exactly what I think it means, then oh dear, we're gonna have some fun. Anyways, the officer grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP during there is no attack. Okay, until the end of combat, the officer's fellowship is halved. Oh. Interesting. Moves in a straight line. This is definitely more warrior based, and we're probably going to be more support based. So far, I think I like officer. Analysis. Targets. Okay, that's int based. Nothing really based on fellowship, so probably not operative. And there's soldier. Nothing really based. Okay, so yeah. Officer it is. And apparently they, at level 16, we go into another new multi-class. So press the advantage. The master empowers their next attack to deal plus 4% additional damage for every stack of tactical advantage the master tactician has, and loses half their stacks of tactical advantage rounded up. Interesting. That have line of sight. Need to any enemies inside the selected zone, make an immediate single attack against a random enemy within this zone that they can see. Target within the zone that they can target with their weapons. Until the beginning of the master tactician's next turn, all allies that attacked as part of the Lost Volley suffer a -20 penalty to the ballistic skill and weapon skill, while the master tactician's fellowship is reduced by 40. Oh, that's a desperate act. Grand Strategist. Grand Strategist analyzes the battlefield and can create specific areas, providing bonuses to all allies, including the Grand Strategist, frontline, backline, and rear. In the first turn, all 3 areas can be created. In the following turn, only one of them can be created. All areas can be moved. The corresponding abilities and cannot overlap. What does that mean, created? Unless it's trying to say created, then that's a completely different thing, and I have no idea what it means. If there are 2 or more grand strategies in the party, the combat tactics areas are common for all the grand strategists. As the highest. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, created. Tactics area. Every ally inside that area gains an additional turn with 1 AP and 2 MP at the start of the Grand Strategist's next turn. For every enemy that has killed the selected combat tactics area. Neat. Exemplar. Apparently, at a high enough level, we're gonna get level 36. We're going to get Exemplar. What are all these skills? Okay, so okay. Interesting. Officer grants an ally an extra turn. Wait, are these stuff that we need to choose later, like on our level ups? Okay, I'm gonna guess those. We have 30 points available to us. Oh wow, we can only go up to a max 50. Okay, so 50 is in fact our max. No. No. We can only pick it at minimum 0, maximum twice to increase by increments of 5. Measures the character's quickness, reflexes, and poise. High agility allows the character to manipulate delicate explosives with finesse or to keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. It improves the character's initiative, dodge chance, and reaction. Ooh, that actually sounds pretty good. So we'll actually put that up to 40. I think I'll be fine. I think that's what I do. The SSS. The the SS Zirconia. Ooh, I like that. Okay, abilities, you serve me, and voice of command. Let's go with this. To withstand the horrors of war, the terrors of space, and the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Cronus Expanse. Okay, I definitely need to check something real quick. I'm pretty certain that the camaraderie can pass willpower resistance tests using their fellowship value instead. Okay, yep. Had to double check that. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with this. Purple. My main color. Wow, it even has like the silver for... Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. Boom. Here we go, chat. We finally can actually just start it. Boom. That only took me like, what? Less than 50 minutes? Which wasn't bad. Again, this music is great.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor sublimity.
You're an adult, you can learn more about current events influencing the character you're speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. Your character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed on the right. Select or reply by clicking left mouse button on it or pressing the corresponding digit. Got it. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense, it is enough to make one think that the architects meant to compensate rather than glorify.
An interesting perspective. However, allow me to offer you a bit of advice. In the interests of your own well-being, you should frame your thoughts with greater piety. Demonstrating such a lack of care when choosing your words might be viewed by certain people as evidence of insufficient trepidation before the God Emperor, the master of humanity.
Oh, that is nice. We can actually, yeah, it's 3D chat. Anyways, my acting, not speaking. Oh, that's not me. I do not show deference for things I do not believe in myself.
Your position won't protect you for long if you continue making such pronouncements. Know that a fate far more compelling and eventful awaits you than being executed as a heretic.
Wow, I'm already on the path to being a heretic. Oh no.
Allow me to introduce myself. Kunrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship rogue trader Theodora von Valencius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
My name is Zircon.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, Von Valencius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of her ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
The lady spared no expense in trying to find an heir to her bloodline. Gotcha. It's like, hey, buddy, listen. You best stop. You best stop your dissing attitude because you're a freaking heir. Grow the fluff up. All right. All right. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here?
So that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible.
We have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Pretty much like what a Master of Whispers does. Anyways, typically the one where whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
I say I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, though there's another candidate.
There is, and you will meet him soon enough.
Lord Captain, a strange title for the Lady Theodore.
Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct.
Sacrosanct. Must be me. Okay. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Interactable objects. Oh. Some objects in the games can be interacted in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects, others will transfer the other character and neighbor locations or launch a small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing next to them. Massive conference table.
Keep your wits about you.
It's more screen edging, though. That not it? Ah, there we go. That's what I want.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, do you? Okay. A candelabra altar with a copy of the... Ooh. Nice that they're getting into somewhat of actual cutscenes.
Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
Sure.
What's happening?
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
No mercy to those who oppose Von Valancius.
You have been ambushed. The battle begins. To survive the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. And these hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system. Click the button at the top of the screen to start combat. Oh, damn. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click on it to move the character there. Okay, yeah. Movement points. Determine how far a character can move on their turn. One enemy corresponds to one cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 MP. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Zero AP. The noble assigns one ally who will become their servant until the end of the combat. Like, who goes first? Who goes next? I don't understand. Oh, is it gonna? Does it go upwards? Probably. Anyways. You
I'll make
serve
it
me.
happen.
Other action when you're ready to end turn. Okay.
On it. I'll see to it personally.
Your character just missed. To increase hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon and place them on a vantage point. Oh, I didn't move. Oh, wait. So, wait, hold on. If I shoot, I can't move? Oh, okay, well. I have a 85% chance. Okay. Did I have that before?
I'll make it happen.
Death to the heretics!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
I do really like this guy's voice, but he's giving he's giving off so many weird vibes. Spread out, no one is allowed to enter the premises stations.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Gotcha. You can open a map by using M. Gotcha.
I always keep my options open.
Head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction. Was the short-circuiting of the motive forces. Entering a century. Okay. All right, I'm
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
rise to the top. Quick save. Now, question is, what's my quick load? Better not be F9. F8. Okay. The heck? That's so what is that? Like a standard threat? Send you to the tech priest? Oh, it's not voice acted. Oh. That is simply irrational, Lady Theodore. It says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economically. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. Theodore. The tall, gray-haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described this situation no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What would you do with Aeon Vi Edelthrod? All right. Survey the room. Your first impression of Edelthrod, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edelthrod, Theodore von Valencius features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edelthrod. Behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons. Our second candidate has joined us. The dry female voice and the powerful feeling of being watched force you to look at Theodore. The rogue trader is looking straight at you, and her gaze, like herself, is predatory and oppressive. Zircon. Approaching, give me your answer. All right, your character's skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skills tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or hidden dialogue option will unlock. If the character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each given test. Got it. That is great. Oh. Nice. Consider this hypothetical question. Aeon the Sixth, a new world of on the fringes of the Cronus expanse, high seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Interesting. Those spirits could well be natives, the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. Theodora arches an eyebrow, reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Apart from Xenos, a term used with Imperium to refer to aliens, an intruded planet might be teeming with a myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Zircon, are simply unaware of their existence. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodore. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? Ethelthrod looks at you with suspicion. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece, Zircon. I suggest you familiarize yourself with the fact that before you are sorely... Ethelthrod, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then, why... Ethelthrod. Theodora's tone renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle of decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodore. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. Ethelthrod bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Okay. That guy's not gonna live long. Theodora gaze follows him as he leaves, then she turns to you. So, Zircon, why are you here? Was it not you who sent me? You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspitterly compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodore von Valencia Massimo of Scaras. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade. Oh, wow. Captain aboard this very vessel, mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bode death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amass. And you, Zircon, are one of those with von Valencia's blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. One of? Does this mean there are other heirs? Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Ethelrod may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your capabilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest allies. Fedora sighs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad Voigtvier served me for many years before he made his mistake. Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours, nonetheless. He does bear the name of Von Valencius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is close to him. Voigtier's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or it used to be, at least. It's all too sudden for me. Perhaps. Yesterday you were just another servant of the Imperium, one of the faceless multitudes. Today, visitors in the Von Valencia's colors come to you without any explanation and escort you to a vessel that departs for the far-off Coronis expanse. Enter poorly explored region on the frontier to the Imperium, full of fearsome Xenos treasure, heathen worlds, and the echoes of doom. But such is the nature of my position, Zerka. My claim on you is sacred and non-negotiable. I require all those who possess even a drop of the Von Valencia's blood, no matter who they may be. If you are satisfied with Ethelrod, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Theoda shakes her head. Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstances and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Ethelrod as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Coronis Expanse. Your noble descent is a sign that power lives in your very flesh and blood. You would never doubt your words or actions. Never show weakness. Never let involuntary gesture or a careless word betray your fears of agitation. At least if your upbringing was as thorough as mine was in my time. Many will grovel at your feet. Governors, commanders, high-born navigators, conceited lords, and you cannot allow them to sense weakness in the one who stands above them. Moreover, Theodore inclines her head slightly, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the Von Valencia's dynasty, well, so much the better. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now? A lot of dialogue. The vox affixed of the Theodore's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodore winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp. And my presence is required on the bridge. Pure energy and matter existing as a mirror for real space, also known as the Immaterium. The Empyrean, the Aether, the Sea of Souls, or warp space. So what are my current responsibilities? Observe, learn, absorb. It'll take time for you to find bearings. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I do kind of wish that this part was voice acted because it's like we're talking to a very pristine character. Eventually I will find the post that suits you as I did for Elithrod. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aid. Where's your ship headed? The Rykid system, the domain of the rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Cronus Expanse, and each of them possess resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valencius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand. For a very specific reason, perhaps I shall yet praise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. An incident took place. Is that so? Perhaps the Technomets were careless during maintenance, or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Jellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all. The gray-haired officer gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval. Lady Theodora. Oh. For the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Abelard. Such heresy amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whisperers of her unseen advisors. She turns to you. The ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Bristol's Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself worthy heir. Anyways, navigator translation. What are these things that you speak of? Sometimes forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how to avoid ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp and otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Jellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars. So, how would I prove myself worthy? You can start by not asking questions of this sort. Oh. I have no more questions. In that case, I shall head to the Vox Wickens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain freezes, listening to the Vox cast, then nods and draws her weapon. Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. She glances at you. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated. Oh.
Your demise is already calculated.
Oh, well, all combatants act in turns and their order is determined by an initiative roll. Yep. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. The character at the very bottom goes first, and then the one above them, and so on.
I took care of this one.
Good God!
Just a minor setback.
Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind are marked the shield or a shield with a skull when standing close to them. The character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character or behind them increases. The character will now receive a bonus if attacked from a side not protected. Gotcha. So much like yeah, gotcha.
Don't let your guard down. My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
Oh, with an 86%.
It's
Okay.
as good as done. You never stood a chance.
Nice. Critical hit. Your character just landed a critical hit. That deals increased damage. Okay. Character's crit chance is 150% of their normal damage by default. Each weapon has its own critical damage stat, which is added to the character's total stat value during attack.
Oh, this'll leave a scar.
What is it?
Dude's just making a mess of people. Your character has received a temporary positive effect from an ally. Such effects enhance your character's abilities in combat in some way. To learn more about the effects you have gained, hover your cursor over the effects icon.
Let's make some opportunities. I'll make it happen. Your end was inevitable.
Boo. Theodora waves her hand in a commanding gesture. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Whoreson survive. That's weird. Why doesn't mine... The incident with the rampaging conservatives may what is happening? Now, from what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are the Seneschal is astonishingly calm for someone who just survived a sudden attack. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto the other decks. Theodora clicks her Vox a few times. The casters are not working or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I need a direct channel to the engine seer. Engine seer? Tech priest. Oh. To the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them. How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare to attack the Lord Captain? Trust me, Z, this is hardly a surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy. No matter how one tries to incinerate one seed before it can take root, all it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle. Ooh. Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. Oh, that was Abildard. Essential. Compartments. The urge's anger causes the Essential to shrink slightly. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly. The incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring nigh. Possibly, quite likely. Theodore Winston inflicts the switch on her Vox a few times. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him, see if the arch militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Ooh. Interesting. I want to know what skill affects crit chance. Anyways.
Is there money to be made? Keep your wits about you. I always have a backup plan.
Damn. Oh, Conrad. How's it going, buddy? Thank Prevens you are alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff all around the deck and you show up. Always just after the fight's done. You could set your chrono by it. Conrad booked beer. Conrad pointedly looks away from the arch-militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. Looks back at you. What? Did the killer captain send you to chivvy us along? We are all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his Vox from the belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? I have not yet received word from the engineerium regarding any Gellar field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle of decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower A's are one-way heretical gibberish. Voigtveer pauses. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. We must provide immediate assist to those still on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Ethelred, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could possess a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on transition deck 18. Blasted, Master of Whispers, find Ethelred immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side, arch-militant with me. I must go to my study, and it appears that we might encounter heretics along the way. Zircon. If I may, Lord Captain, transitional deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethelred back, I could use some support. After all, I am not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed arch-militant, and taking into consideration Ethelred's psychic powers. Then it's settled. Zircon, find Ethelred and bring him here. And whatever state you find him, this elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Then move out. Mort, come. Because are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk. It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I shall make do. Lead the way. Of course he will. He rummages his pocket for something. Lady Thorita would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Dude just stabbed me. I promised you a special destiny, Z. Oh. Oh no. Have we been made? Oh no. That's not good.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
What very you two-faced guy? You're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What? Sorry, what pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shite?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench, Fon Valencius, watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, which are made automatically, in this case, you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result. Okay, we know these. Hold on. First, actually, my favorite affects how the dialogue will develop depending on the context. You might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only become apparent later. Hover over your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test, and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success. The number after that skill's name, the difficulty of the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score will be score in the applicable skill will be selected. Got it. The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of your blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate, go to the gate, go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. Get out, I am not your puppet. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates looming into the center of the chamber. Oh, so I didn't get much of a chance on that. Plus, wasn't I supposed to get like a dialogue to do proper check? Oh! Ooh. Can I save? I cannot save during dialogue. And the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel as you approach. The torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomous human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eyes sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Oh. Success! Great success. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which, what is experience gained? Some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of Archaeotech relic, an incredibly rare and powerful piece of technology from humanity's ancient past. As the servitor of the gate begins to move with a screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drown-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metal fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices of the that filled your head after Vogtveer wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, the source has coiled itself into a tight knot, somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. Stover looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Place my hand in the Sentinel's maw. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo monitors start up and jump, and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the calculator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a fragment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes. Pain shoots through your head, and it subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Well, there is still another way.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true word of the document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade. To the background of humanity, unbroken by adversaries, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim triumph over the nights and untold, to walk steadily the road of thorns through the pain to greatness.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Any contact someone, preferably with Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
In place of the mechanical screeching the servos, Vox projects the voice of Theodore von Valencias, distorted and written with static yet still recognizable beyond a doubt. Vox Master restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I am utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
When Servo Skull goes silent, its relays clicking second after second passes, and you realize that the Servo Skull will not answer you. Well, lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
End dialogue. As the game story progresses, journal. Okay.
Let us not dawdle.
Master. What?
Oh, he has a voice.
Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Gunrod Volksbier is the traitor. When we parted ways in the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
Oh, darn it. Hold on. There was something, oh, well, whatever. He intended to take revenge on Theodore for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Unquestionably.
Saints' blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Ooh, nice. Minus 10. Oh, neat. While fighting, your characters can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within 1 round. The exact percentage of wounds a character must lose for this, so basically my health, to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. When a character initially suffers an injury, it is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a medikit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a medikit, but they require the character administering the treatment to pass a Medicae skill test. Oh, intelligence. Oh, intelligence. Oh, intelligence. Oh, fun. Use medikits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished and replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a medikit. Medikits can only be used by characters who have the field medic feature, base skill Medicae, or have taken Medicae skill advancement at least once. Oh dear. Whenever a character uses a medikit in battle, a Medicae skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injuries. Left click on him. Select the medikit on the panel at the bottom of the left of the screen. Then use it on your character. Albedo needs to be standing right next to your character for him to administer the treatment.
I'm at your service. This wound will make a fine scar.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
Failed? Oh, No, 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 no. You are not failing that check. Oh, hey, my first,
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
I owe you a debt.
Huh? Wait, is this... Oh, no, 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 no! Our first save scum, chat, is to heal! What is this? That is not right.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh.
I won't forget this.
Thank you. Jeez. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. I think I understand. Okay. Yeah. It's a percentile die. It's a percentile die. Oh, excuse me. D100. Gotcha. All right. All right. All right. All right. I can have up to, oh, okay, I can have up to 6 characters. So we'll go ahead and save here. And then I'll just stream.